Hello again everyone, Freedom Watchdog here, welcome to the Freedom Watchdog channel. Breaking story today. The Deputy of the Bank of England has recently come out and said that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies need tighter regulation. Now the timing of this is quite ironic because in the USA there's recently been a bill, I don't think it's been passed yet but it most likely will be passed. And it's if you're trading with cryptocurrency of the value of more than $10,000, then you need to report that to the IRS. You need to also get the receiver of the $10,000 worth of crypto, all their details, and pass that on to the IRS, including the social security number. And obviously this will work if you're the receiver of crypto worth $10,000 or more, then they're supposed to get your details, your social security number, and pass that on to the IRS. So tighter regulations coming in for crypto. I don't think it's really going to change anything just yet. And I say just yet because I think it will have some significant impacts moving forward, which I'll talk about later in this video. But let's move on to this article now by the BBC on what the Bank of England deputy has to say about it. Bitcoin bank deputy calls for urgent crypto regulation. Cryptocurrencies need regulation as a matter of urgency, according to the Bank of England Deputy Governor Sir John Cunliffe. A severe fall in the value of crypto assets, for example to zero, could force investors who have taken on debt with brokers to have to find cash to pay them. Interconnectedness creates a possibility that shocks are transmitted through the financial system, he added. And that's most certainly true, but isn't that the same for all assets in this day and age? You know, stock market, property, business, you know, it's all interconnected, so what's the difference? There's no regulations on one which will contain any kind of disaster to the other. It's all interconnected one way or the other anyway. So, it's obviously a blag. Let me carry on here. In the past year, crypto assets have grown around 200% in value from just under 800 billion to $2.3 trillion. That's a massive increase in a short space of time, and there's no doubt cryptocurrencies are blowing up right now, as I'm sure you're all aware. While this is a relatively small in the context of the 250 trillion global financial system, the 2008 financial crisis was triggered by the subprime sector, which was valued at then 1.2 trillion, Sir John added. It's funny how he's not talking about the mortgage-backed securities and all the bad loans which were given out by the commercial banks, which is a big part of what happened there. And these guys, the central banks like the Bank of England, stepped in and bailed them out as a reward. Anyway, let's carry on here. Most crypto assets such as Bitcoin are not backed up in the real world by assets or commodities. Now, isn't that unbelievable? This is someone who prints paper. He creates digits on a screen, and even though that statement there is true, he's saying it as if there's better alternatives out there. And look, I value precious metals over any crypto, including Bitcoin, but the way he's saying it, it's like he's saying stocks are backed up by something, but most stocks aren't backed up by anything. Most of those companies are in debt as well, so therefore you could say the companies that issue those stocks are actually negative equity. They're underwater. Even if they are going up in price, it's you have a look on the balance sheet and they'll actually show that they're underwater. It's also talking like the money, the paper he prints and the digits he types on the screen are worth something. They're not worth anything at all. They've shown us that over the past 18 months. Well, they've shown it us a lot longer than that. But as we move into this inflationary environment, a lot more people are going to wake up to this now. But he's throwing stones and he lives in a glass house, that's for sure. Bringing the crypto world effectively within the regulatory perimeter will help ensure that the potentially very large benefits of the application of this technology to finance can flourish in a sustainable way, he added. Now, the one thing you can be assured of, the more the Bank of England, central banks, governments interfere with cryptocurrency, the harder it's going to be to flourish. Even though there's certain aspects of it they won't be able to stop, if they dig their claws in, it could actually hurt crypto quite a lot. It's like the thing that's going on with the States right now to try and stop people transacting, large amounts, $10,000 and over worth of crypto. That will put a lot of people off getting involved. And this is exactly what they want. You see, I don't think they care about the price of Bitcoin or cryptos. I don't think they could care less if Bitcoin went to 100 million next year. What they care about is people getting hold of crypto or Bitcoin or anything and transacting with it when they realise inflation's picking up, it's not going away, and there'll be some kind of desperate move for people to get out of the currency they're using into anything else, something that'll hold its value, something they can transact with online, like cryptos, is ideal. As soon as Gresham's law kicks in, and he knows it's coming, that's why they all know it's coming, that's why they're coming out with these things now. They want to bed the clause in before the cat gets out of the bag, that's what they want to do. They want to keep it under as much control as possible and make it harder for people to get hold of any cryptos, I'd say. So if that's a red flag for you, it certainly is a red flag for me. That tells me is you should. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but for me, I want to get even more involved with Bitcoin than what I already am right now, because these guys see it as a threat. They won't ever admit it, but when a new industry has come about, has there ever been anyone in a central bank come out and said we need to regulate this heavily? Drop a comment below if you know of any times that's happened before, but I certainly don't. What was happening in 1999 when internet was blowing up, the dot-com bubble? Was they coming out with all this regulation talk then, or did they come out with much after it? I was quite young at the time, so I don't know, but if anyone's a bit older and they could let me know, that would be great. And I think what we're moving towards here, a lot of the main cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum and all the others, we'll start to see, I think it's already happening right now, we'll start to see ETF versions, so ETF derivatives of the cryptos themselves, and I think that's how they'll regulate it. They'll come out with a Bitcoin ETF, and that will be supposed to represent Bitcoin, the real thing, so then the average person will go and buy the ETF not really knowing what they're doing, and they'll think, oh, I own Bitcoin. They may think they've got the benefits of being able to transact with it or use it for whatever, but Bitcoin itself may actually be hard to get hold of in the future. If they see it as a real threat to their currency, they'll certainly be making it as hard as possible to get hold of, and that's what I think these regulations, which it looks like they'll end up bringing out. I mean, it's not spoke about what these regulations will actually be, but if he's putting this out now, even though you could say, yeah, it's just propaganda, it's just a bit of scaremongering to try and maybe halt the price. I don't think they care about the price, like I say. I think these are serious. It was only a matter of time before they was going to come out and try and, pin it down with regulations anyway. I'm sure it's not going to stop you from buying Bitcoin. It's certainly not going to stop me from buying Bitcoin. But, get it into cold storage. That's where it needs to be. You can't trust it. You can't really have the majority of it anyway on a trading platform, because who knows, if they bring out some regulations in the short term unexpectedly, things could change very quickly. So we'll have to see what happens. I'll keep you updated on these situations, so make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I'll keep you up to date on everything that's happening in the financial world as well as the world as a whole. Keep you up to date on all the breaking situations as they happen. So you ain't got to trawl through everything and do all the nitty gritty. I'll do that for you. Thank you very much for watching and listening to me ramble on, and I'll see you on the next one.